It takes an acre of clover to put for bees to put away as much honey as one mature tree.
Okay, Angie, you're a beekeeper.
Yes.
You've got involved in working with our wonderful friends of flora and fauna out there. Like, how did you get started? Because it's just like sometimes like we know somebody, but it's like on the outskirts. So, how did you get involved with all this?
A little bit of an accident. I've been intrigued by them, but never had any desire to really work with them per se. My best friend, who I totally trust, we met in nursing school, and we've been pretty inseparable ever since. She works at Cardinal Glennon, and a fellow nurse gave her a top bar hive, which a top bar hive is a horizontal hive. That the bees, you don't give them any foundation or anything. They build their comb down.
Okay.
And so you just
open the lid and get what you want.
Right.
Got
right.
It. Okay.
So she knew I had the truck. So she had the fall before COVID. She said, "Hey, let's do a road trip out to St. Charles and let's pick this up and let's get into bees." Okay, I'm all over it. Let's do it. It's another thing for us to do together. Honey, sure. Went ahead and picked it up. I knew I had a high school teacher who I was still in contact with who did bees. So I immediately reached out to him, and I'm all excited. And he burst my bubble, and he's like, "That's not how a new beekeeper starts. You need to start with the Langstroth hive, the traditional one that everybody thinks of."
Yeah. Okay, with the slots and the comb. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. I feel like I can officially say we are beekeepers now, because for the first 5 years in, we just had our first time that we overwintered our hives successfully. So it was not a huge death rate this year.
Hold on. For English, for you and me.
Overwintering. So keeping the bees alive over the winter.
Okay.
So you have to do a lot of things in the summer and fall, because those bees that stay alive through the winter in the hive, they have to live 4 or 5 months because the queen's not laying during that time. There's if you're going to lose a hive, a lot of times it's going to be So you got to get them nice and healthy and have them good and healthy so that they can last that whole winter. So having successfully overwintered hives this year, felt like, okay, we are officially beekeepers.
That's the standard.
Oh, yeah, that's what right.
That's a really honest standard.
I'm going to go with that. I no longer feel like we're total failures, because, when you were buying new bees every year just to play with them from March through October, November, it's a little bit of an expensive hobby then.
No kidding. Well, you got to learn somehow, right?
Correct. It's been a lot of learning.
Yeah, lots of learning.
Just a couple frequently asked questions when it comes to bees. How can you safely find out if you are just itch, itch, ow, ow, or anaphylactic shock allergic to bees?
Allergists can do some testing for you for sure. If you have just a localized reaction, then that's normal. That's that antihistamine response that
our bodies
has.
Go through.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's when you get stung here and you have a blotch on your leg or a blotch on your neck that, okay, you're responding differently, and you probably need to be very careful about your bee stings.
Very fair. So there's additional symptoms on that in between, plus being careful. So check with your allergist to make sure at what level are you. What are some things that people can do to help save the bees?
Probably 2 things. Watching what and if you spraying after dark. The bees are usually in, and a lot of those things will dissipate by morning when the bees will come back out. Not spraying would be even better, but I know there's some things
Sometimes
that
you gotta
have
do
to
what you
happen.
gotta do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is planting the things that make pollinators happy.
Awesome. What are like the top 2 things that make pollinators happy?
Depending on the pollinator, but our bees love, as much as everybody loves flowers and that, I was reading recently that it takes an acre of clover to put, for bees to put away as much honey as one mature tree.
Whoa.
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much. That was a...
So plant trees.
Trees.
Just any type of tree?
Our dogwoods are a favorite, and plus that's our state flower, even though it's a tree. Tulip, poplar is a big one.
So it doesn't necessarily, it could be because most trees flower, even though they're not like, we're not seeing geraniums pop up out of oak trees.
Correct.
We're still they still flower at that level, and bees still take that essence, that
Nectar
pollen
and
the
pollen.
nectar.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Flower-wise, the coneflower and the asters are definitely
Nice.
favorites, but yeah. And so I had mentioned that the dogwood, the state insect is the honeybee.
So we're supposed to just take care of Missouri.
And we are. And the state just, legislation just approved for a new specialized license plate that is a pollinator license plate. It has the queen bee on it. It's called Bee Friendly. So it's a bee friendly campaign. It's through legislation, and the Missouri State Beekeeping Association is working on getting their first 200 registrations for it. As
Nice.
of last night, we were at 96, and we've only been live for 4 or 5 weeks.
That's fantastic.
So, yep, everybody can sign up and get their
Sign
very
up, get
own
their
pollinator-friendly plate.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, last question for Angie. What should somebody do if they find a hive or find an active bees? We know they're not wasps. We know they're not yellow jackets, but they're bees.
Call your local beekeeping club. They have a list of people who are all about coming and collecting bees. They'll figure out if it's a swarm or if they've moved into your house, and get the appropriate people, get you hooked up with the appropriate people that you can make arrangements with them.
That sounds great. And this is not a hobby for you. This is a passion.
Yeah, I could
Yes.
talk all day
I
about
know.
plants and bees.
I love it. I love it. And that's why we connected on plants. And they're like, well, plants. Well, obviously, and then we found out about the bees. Like, it's such a beautiful thing. So thank you for sharing
Absolutely,
your love
thank you.
and your passion with
Thank
us.
you.
And
Bees are awesome.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, bye. See you next time. Thank you for
Absolutely.
doing this with me.
Absolutely. No
This is so
problem.
much